Hey everybody, it's your boy Surge Dragon and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters Podcast. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and notification bell for the next one. With me today is Andre Mitchell.
Yo.
And Chris Petrie.
Too sweet.
Later we'll have Mike Henry. Right now he's doing his late night chores. Today we're going to cover Smackdown and 205 Live on October 23rd and the following day, October 24th, Talking Smack. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with the fact that we start with Kevin Owens' show, having Daniel Bryan on the show, and he pitches the idea of being a tag team in Smackdown, while mentioning the fact that Kevin Owens doesn't exactly have the best records of best friends. Then we would have Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode come out hearing the best tag team. And here comes the current SmackDown tag team champions, the Street Profits, as well as Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. And it ends in a babyface versus heels 8-man tag. 1 second, guys. Give me a sec. 1. All right. I took care of that. So, with that said, the 8-man tag match ended with the Street Profits, Montez Ford, getting the epic frog splash and winning the match for the babyfaces. How do you feel about that, Chris?
Yeah, I love the Street Profits and Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens being the heroes of Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, proving they are the best team.
How about you, Andre? How do you feel about this massive tag team ending with the babyfaces winning?
Yeah, it was all right so far.
We come to the first part of, actually we can just call it all together, better yet, of the courtroom of Law and Otis. We had a mixture of Law and Order and the People's Court music. Ultimately, everybody was making good cases on Otis, while The Miz was failing so bad he even fired his lawyer, who was trying to help him, and he did that. In the end, it was due to a briefcase. When we hear the chung-ching, we know that JBL was bribed into having Miz win the case, but instead of the briefcase going immediately to him, it would be him versus Otis in a Money in the Bank on the line match, basically. So it's a repeat of Mr. Kennedy losing his money in the briefcase due to him putting the briefcase on the line. We'll have to wait and see if Otis follows that same category. What are your thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah, I remember that with that part, Mr. Kennedy versus Edge with a Money in the Bank match. And
From what T-Money said, he did it twice and lost it to Rob Van Dam the second time around.
yeah,
I was like, damn. Mr. Kennedy had a bad rep of losing the Mr. Money in the Bank title.
yeah.
That sucks. What do you think about that? Oh wait, did you get your 2 cents on that, Chris?
Well, let's see Otis keep his Money in the Bank, being the Miz, and Hell himself.
Mm-hmm. How you feel about JBL taking the money bribe from the Miz and winning the case, Andre?
Yeah, forget the Miz, that loser. It wasn't all that entertaining. It was okay. Forget Bradshaw. He used to be cool, but now he just, He ain't cool. He ain't that cool like he used to be with Farouk.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have Bianca Belair going up against Zelina Vega. Real talk, this match was quick. Bianca Belair making her debut, as well as Zelina Vega, but Zelina Vega got the, what do you call it? D-O-B? No?
That move that Bianca Belair used.
Yeah, Kiss of Death. K-O-D. That's what it's called. Kiss of Death. So, Bianca Belair got a good momentum going. How do you feel about that, Chris?
Yeah. Well, Bianca Belair dominated Zelina Vega, and she got the victory, and Zelina Vega is back for a losing streak.
How about you, Andre? How do you feel about Bianca Belair winning her first match on Smackdown?
Oh, that's good for her. Glad she won.
Next match would be Lars Sullivan versus Shorty G. Shorty G is actually trying to prove that he is wrongfully being not drafted to either Raw or SmackDown, and that he plans on taking on the big guy, Lars Sullivan, and proving that point that he is wrongfully not chosen. He put up one hell of a good fight, but then once Lars Sullivan caught him, that was it. He was just getting bam, boom, bam. Freaks accident, bam. The pep in his step just left, as well as the wind in his freaking lungs. He was trying to catch his breath and was immediately with what was her name? Kayla Braxton, and was interviewed by Kayla to only say, "I quit." I was like, oh no, is he doing the same thing as Austin Theory? We go into the back with Adam Pearce, and he asked that question. Did I hear you, White, saying you quit? He said he quit being Shorty G. He's going back to being Chad Gable. So, Chad Gable's back as a heel by the sound of it. What are your thoughts on that, Chris?
Shorty G is no longer exists anymore. It's Chad Gable. All the losses he's been suffered, including the one was a mistake, yelling Lars Sullivan and get wrecked. Yeah. Back to Chad Gable, one who's been a former NXT Tag Team Champion with his old partner, Jason Jordan.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Andre? How do you feel about Lars Sullivan just wrecking Shorty G to a point? Shorty G says, I'm tired of being Shorty G. I'm going back to Chad Gable.
I want to see him and Jason Jordan just like team up and beat the crap out of Lars Sullivan. Double team up.
Jason Jordan don't work with WWE no more, from what I understand.
He quit?
I think he quit being a wrestler.
What does he do now?
Work backstage, I think, in WWE.
Well, I don't know. I hope so he be able to beat him. You know.
Would have been nice.
Yep.
Next, we have Sasha Banks calling out Bayley in order to actually get her to sign the contract. Wait, actually, it was Bayley trying to say that, but then Sasha Banks is chasing her ass, telling her to sign a contract. Ends in a fight, just a straight up fight, no match whatsoever, and a chair is involved, which was used as a submission means to forcibly have Bayley sign the contract successfully, and now it is official. We will have the SmackDown Women's Championship in Hell in a Cell at the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell. How's your thoughts on that, Andre?
All right, so far, I guess.
You like the fact that Sasha Banks made Bayley sign the contract?
Finally, I want to see him go at it again.
In a Hell in a Cell?
It don't matter. I just want to see them beat the crap out of each other again. Honestly.
Same question, Chris.
Yeah. That coward wanted nothing to do with that Hell in a Cell or Sasha Banks. So the Sasha Banks was trying to put her head on that steel chair and stomp on it to make her sign that contract. But Bayley kicked her in the head and tried to use that chair, but nope, it happened. So he put a submission on that steel chair and made her sign.
Next, we have Seth Rollins versus Buddy Murphy. In which case, this match had altercations where Seth was repeatedly saying that he is the Messiah and Murphy is the follower. Ultimately, we would have Aaliyah Mysterio watching in the back, and both her father and brother, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, were questioning as to why, and she says she's a grown woman, she'll do what she wants. When the match ultimately ended in Seth Rollins' favor, it was looking like Murphy was going to win, but Seth got the curb stomp, and that was it. But it didn't stop there, truth be told. With the kendo stick being pulled out and just Murphy being wailed upon over and over and over, Aaliyah Mysterio came out in his defense, ultimately getting both Dominic as well as Rey Mysterio involved, and they were just looking at her like, what's going on? Why is she hugging Murphy? I think what T-Money said before, that they're supposed to be in a relationship, that Vince was pushing for it, and then they said they canceled it. I think they're going through it this time. What do you think of Chris?
Buddy Murphy was trying to prove that he is not Seth Rollins' disciple. He tried. He put up a good fight, but it wasn't enough. Got the victory and trying to put up a kendo stick and trying to wear on him. Aaliyah came out and trying to stop it. Dominic tried to come out and trying to save her sister from Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins came from behind and attacked Dominic from behind, and Rey Mysterio came out with a steel chair. Chase it off Seth Rollins. But I really have a question on that. They didn't know what's going on. Aaliyah hugging Murphy, she's only 19 years old.
She's legal. Once you're 18, you're legal.
Yeah, Sergio want that 18, man.
Nah. Don't even go there, Andre. Nah. How you feel about that, though? How do you feel about the fact that Seth Rollins put down Murphy only for Aaliyah to come to a rescue? How you feel about that, Andre?
I mean, I don't see what she sees in Murphy anyway. I don't see her get it. I mean, he okay, but come on. He want to Rollins little chumps. Why would she want to see and be with this little chump? I don't know, man. Not worth it.
Really wondering where Mikey's coming in. I tried to call him to see if he would answer, but no. I'll get him to do.
Doing his chores, or
I think so. Out of that, he's going to bed. Either which way. I'm gonna keep going then. Let's see what's on the bottom before we talk about this. There's Chad. There's the Usos. There's Aaliyah. There's Daniel Bryan jumping. Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the main event. we would actually have not so much a match, a confrontation of the stipulations revealed by Roman Reigns. Talking about what would be the stipulation. Hold up. All right, we're back. Like I was saying, with Roman Reigns going to announce the stipulations of what the I Quit match in the Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was going to apply, it would be interrupted by what would appear to be Jey Uso wearing a face mask, do-rag, enjoying the food that he had in his little locker room. It was a pretty big locker room.
It was like a house locker room.
It was huge. And it would not be Jey Uso. It was Jimmy saying that it used to be good to be your fam. It used to be good to be a cousin. But my bro is going to kick your ass and he's right behind you. And he jumped him. It was one after another, and it ended on the note where Jey Uso was on top with his brother on stage. And that's when everything went down. Where we hear Roman Reigns issuing this. If he loses, if he says I quit, he loses his spot at the head of the table, as well as the Universal Championship. But if Jey Uso said I quit and didn't fall in line afterwards, both him, his brother, and their families would be banished from the Samoan family. Even Jimmy Uso is looking at him saying, "Who are you? Who the hell are you?" So now we know the stipulations for the Universal title is way more than the title itself. This is personal. Within family. Damn. How you feel about that, Andre? How do you feel about the fact that Roman Reigns is having Jey Uso to put him and his brother and their whole family's position and being banned if they lose at Hell in a Cell?
That's just messed up. Forget Roman Reigns. He ain't nobody to sit there and ban anybody from the family or whatever. So I just hope the Usos can beat Roman Reigns and just end this whole family feud thing, you know?
What about you, Chris?
Roman Reigns has been too far. He's went too far. I mean, but when Jey Uso loses, him and his brother and his family is banished for the dynasty for good, forever.
Yeah, and that's if they don't fall in line. That means if they want their families to be in the Samoan family, they gotta bow their head to Roman. That sucks.
That's why I like the babyface Roman Reigns, not a heel Roman Reigns.
With that said, let's go ahead and shout out to our fellow brethren of the Heavens Monsters podcast. A shout out to our fellow brethren, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube channels will be in the descriptions down below, as well as Chris Petrie, T-Money, Renee, Farrell, and Delvin. Let's go ahead and talk 2 matches on 205 Live. Real quick, it's Mansoor makes his return to 205 Live, and he fights the Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick had been on a roll as of late, but then comes to a stop with Mansoor, whose winning streak has not stopped yet. So that's a good question. With Mansoor, they must be really trying to push him, but his push is going nowhere. What do you think about that, Chris?
That's they're not pushing him with what he did here. He's winning. They need to put him like a cruiserweight championship match with Fat Tasma or something.
You, Andre, how you feel about Mansoor beating Brian Kendrick and continuing his winning streak, but not really going anywhere with it?
Yeah, it was okay, I guess.
Next is kind of anticlimactic. It's Tony Nese having a match with the guy he kicked upside the head with his knee, Kurt Stallion, I guess? Stallion?
Stallion.
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 Yeah. Well, Kurt Stallion, who was this close to winning a 10 grand from Arya Daivari, would end up calling out Tony Nese. About to say Titus O'Neil. Tony Nese gladly accepted and brutally beat him up. And after he won the match, Arya Daivari is coming in here just trying to assault him. And Tony Nese said he's not even worth it. He don't belong here. And the both heels walk away, ending the show. Your thoughts on that, Chris?
Well, I had to get Stallion credit. But everybody was getting up and talk trash at him. He went over there and headbutted him in the face. And then so he take advantage and hit a running knees in the match.
How about you, Andre?
All right, so far.
Lastly, we talk about Talking Smack. This was the longest Talking Smack. 44 minutes, bros. I looked at that, I was like, huh? Apparently, the reason why is mostly due to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was talking and answering everyone's questions, including the two co-hosts for that night. Our boy, two-time Hall of Famer, Houston's own Booker T, alongside one half of the Smackdown champions, Montez Ford. They talk about Montez's win. They talk about Bianca Belair, who was one of the hosts, and she's looking to definitely dominate. And Montez Ford is just looking at his wife like, yeah. But the real thing, damn. Paul Heyman. He laid it thick. Talking about the fact that with Roman Reigns, it's personal. We already figured it was kind of personal. He ain't doing this for a hate. He's doing this for the fact that he's got to represent. If he takes this very seriously, knowing that if he loses, it'll be him no longer on the head of the seat of the table. Somebody else has to do that. So damn. What do you think about that, Chris?
Well, Roman loses, that means Paul Heyman will not be seen in WWE. Jey Uso will be the new champion.
Booker T even mentioned that, saying there was 13 Paul Heyman guys, but Paul Heyman said he's more of a Roman Reigns guy. What are your thoughts on that, Andre?
It's all right, I guess.
You, Chris?
Paul Heyman just said he's a Roman Reigns guy. So he just erased a party he was in. He's not a a CM Punk guy or RBD or Dudley's or Corey Johnson or Ryback. You see more?
I actually don't know. Oh, there was something on SmackDown that wasn't mentioned. There's a confrontation between Sami Zayn after the 8-man tag match. He looked at continuing the conversation of last week's Talking Smack, that he just kept rubbing it in that he beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. That he doesn't care about what Daniel Bryan says that should be done. He's going to do things his way. And since he has a title, he has control over it. So Daniel Bryan on the show actually was questioned, where does this go now? And oh my God, even Booker T's like, you heard it here. You heard it here. Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack said it, that this is most likely his last run before he fully retires. How you feel about that, Andre?
Good so far.
No, the part where Daniel Bryan said that this is most likely his last run before he retires.
I really don't want him to retire. I want him to keep going, but I don't know. I guess he just done with it, you know.
What about you, Chris?
I don't want Daniel Bryan to retire. I want him to fight Sami Zayn and take the Intercontinental Championship from him.
I gotta look this up. What the hell is in a plastic cup? I thought it was like plastic is a type of plant. Apparently, Daniel Bryan don't want a plastic cup because is there an animal in a plastic cup? I don't know. Environmental, he's the planet's champion and everything. So, we also had Sasha Banks on the show talking about the fact that she's got that contract signed. But one thing, there's some heavy conversations going on with Booker T and Sasha Banks. What's that about? We got Twitter wars? What do you feel about that, Chris?
I have no comment on that.
Me neither. Yeah, I think that's it. Did I miss anything, Chris?
No, I think that's it.
All right. You ready to end this, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so I can get ready to start cooking this food and get to bed. All right. So with that said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You didn't give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe button, like the content, hit that notification bell for the next video, and hit that subscribe button for more content. And the next, hit that notification. Yeah, I'm saying this all wrong. Like, don't like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Yeah, there you go. And I guess since he's not here, do you want to say it, Chris? Or do you want to say it, Andre?
You can say it, Sergio. It don't matter.
You want it, Chris? Since Mikey couldn't show up?
I'll say it.
Go ahead.
And that's the bottom line, because the Heaven Monster podcast says so. And we'll see you in the next video on
Hopefully Thursday, if not the weekend. All right, y'all. Good night.
Later.